I want you to think back to the last time you watched your favorite show. You come in from work and you see there's a new episode. You press play and you're greeted by all of the familiar characters. You know all of their names, especially the main character. You sit back and relax and tune into the main character's journey as they deal with whatever problems arise in the episode. You never notice the characters in the background, and you're not supposed to because they're just extras and only there to fill up the scene. You finish the episode more in love with the show and more excited to see what the main character does next. But instead of watching someone else be the main character, what if I told you that you could be one in your own life? Becoming the main character is a rite of passage for the high-level woman. In order to truly become your best self, you have to give yourself the most attention. Just like the main character in your favorite show, you too are on a journey and you have situations that you have to face daily. Being your own main character means watching your own moves and being excited for what you do next. In this video, I'm going to share with you tips to become the main character in your life so that you can stop living like an extra in someone else's story. And if you're new here, hi girl, my name is Marsella and on this channel, I teach women how to become their highest selves. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to subscribe. Being the main character makes you successful in life because when you have the lead role, you control how the story goes. So if you want your story to play out in the best way possible, be sure to stick around for all of the gems that I drop in this video. To become the main character, you need to stop being an extra. Extras are actors that are hired to fill in the background of a scene. So for instance, if a director wants to shoot a party scene, they'll typically hire extras to dance in the background and pretty much give the illusion of a party happening. But you never really notice these people, and you're really not supposed to. You'll probably just see them moving in the background side to side, but not much attention or focus is ever given to them. Instead, the focus is given to the main character and the supporting characters. So when I say to stop being an extra, I am saying to stop just filling in space. You need to be uncomfortable with not being a priority. So many people are used to being second and have played that role for so long that they don't know how to step into the spotlight. They don't know how to go from being an extra to having a leading role. And honestly, even if they did know how to do it, they're scared. Because essentially, it would mean leaving their comfort zone. They've managed to live their entire lives in the background and have grown so accustomed to it that anything else just seems impossible. But it truly isn't. It just takes making a conscious decision to take up space. So you have to take a look at all of the areas in your life where you've been showing up as an extra. I would start with relationships, and not only romantic ones, but also friendships and family relationships. I think this is a great place to start because oftentimes who we are and how we're projecting will show up in our relationships. People will echo back to us the role that we've taken in a relationship. Meaning, if you've always been extremely passive in a friendship, then you'll probably notice that that friend is always very assertive and direct, almost to the point where it leaves little room for you to be assertive. But in reality, it's not that there isn't any room for you to be assertive, it's just that you've decided to be passive. And that essentially gave your friend the green light to be assertive or overly assertive. Now, before you jump down your friend's throats and decide to just block them altogether, I want you to hear me out on this. In any type of relationship, both parties set the terms. Either both parties set the terms or one party sets the terms while the other one accepts. This is the foundation for every relationship. There has to be a balance and both parties have to agree to it. And this is why I think you shouldn't be so quick to cut off your friends because on some level, you agreed to this. And it might not have been the conscious level. It could have been subconscious. But this doesn't mean that the friendship doesn't have any hope. It just means that you need to change the dynamic. So you're going to need to pull back some of your energy. When you're working on yourself, it will require some energy, so don't be afraid to pull back a bit. And with this restored energy that you have, you're going to use it to create a new persona. Creating a new persona is one of my favorite parts of this process because you really get to get creative and have fun with it. Remember, we're not just creating any type of persona, we're creating a main character. So we need to have main character qualities. Think about the main character in your favorite show. What are they like? What are their positive traits? What do you align with? What do you want to borrow from them and experiment with? I think this is a great foundation for building a new persona because you already know what it is that you like and why you like that character. Now it's just about incorporating those same qualities. This is also the time to tap into your true self. If you could be anyone in this world without the fear of being judged, who would you be? That's exactly who you need to become. So let that guide you as you write a new story for yourself. Just like your favorite main character has a story, you too have a story. So you need to write what your episodes will look like. What is your character's personality? What do they want in life? What are their goals and aspirations? What's their vibe? What's their sense of style? How would people describe them? The more details you have, the clearer this becomes in your mind, and the easier it will be for you to become this character. So take a moment to really think about this and write it down and keep it somewhere safe. So whenever you need a reminder, you know exactly where to go. The next thing you need to do is you need to spend time solo. If you've been an extra for the majority of your life, then you're going to need to really focus to become a main character. Spending time solo allows you to starve your distractions. This may look like deciding to stay in instead of going out with friends that still treat you like an extra. Or this may look like canceling a date with a guy that truly doesn't see you as a priority. The sole purpose of spending time solo is to truly embody main character energy. Writing a new story is just the beginning. You have to embody this character. It's like having a script. Yes, it might be powerful, but until an actor embodies the character, it doesn't fulfill its true potential. I think one of the best ways to do this is to have mirror time. I don't think we spend enough time in the mirror, and I know that society would call this vanity, but I think it's the exact opposite. I think it's a way for you to connect with yourself on a deeper level, not just what's on the surface. But like anything else, it's all about how you do it, right? You need to spend time in the mirror affirming yourself. Affirm yourself with the key traits and characteristics that you've given this main character. And do this daily. Repetition is a powerful way for you to step into this new character. And on the surface, I think it can also be helpful in creating your new image. Try different hairstyles, see which one makes you feel the most empowered. Try different outfits, play with your style a little bit, and see which one makes you look and feel like the main character. And I also think that you should spend your solo time doing hobbies that satisfy you. Notice I said satisfy. I was very intentional about using that word. Main character energy comes from within. It comes from having a deep foundation and confidence that no one can shake. And I think that having a hobby that truly satisfies you is one of the most powerful ways to bring this energy out. I think that hobbies allow us to connect with something that we love in a deep way. I truly believe that it's its own type of love, aside from the love that you have for family or romantic partners. And when you're able to find this type of passion in a hobby, it truly fills your cup. Essentially, what I'm saying is you're no longer longing for anything. You're no longer in need of anything. You're not desperate. Your needs are being met. And this is something that a lot of main characters have in common and what makes them so magnetic. They're not an extra in anyone else's story because they know that they don't need to be. They have everything they want and need. And people sense that and treat them accordingly. The next thing you need to do is you need to play your role. Once you decide to be the main character, you are always the main character. There are no days off for the main character. Meaning, you don't get to be the main character today and decide to be an extra tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. A main character would never. Think about the main character on your favorite show. Imagine in one episode, the spotlight is on them and you're following their journey. And then in the next episode, the spotlight is on someone else and they're somewhere in the back being an extra. That would throw you off, right? Of course it would. And if you do that, you're going to throw your friends off. You're going to throw your family off. You're going to throw your partner off because they're not going to know how to treat you. You're sending mixed signals. It's okay to change. It's okay to go from being an extra to being a main character, but it's not okay to be both. So in embodying the main character, you need to only do what benefits you. I can hear somebody on the other side of the screen calling me selfish, but I would say that they're the exact person that needs to hear this because I can see that they don't get it yet. This is your life. And if you're watching this video, you're more than likely interested in becoming the best version of yourself so that you can get the most out of life, right? Right. So if that is the case, why would you do anything that does not benefit you? You wouldn't, right? I know it may sound harsh, but you need to be honest about this. And I actually think that being upfront about this is the best way to play it. I think that we get into our own heads a bit and we don't think about things logically. You're supposed to put your own wants and needs first. If that's how you move through the world, no one would actually bat an eye at that. But what happens is we're so afraid of being judged and so afraid of being seen as selfish that we neglect the thing that we're supposed to do. The thing that we're supposed to do is put ourselves first. I'm not saying that you need to actually become a selfish person or become a narcissist, but there's nothing wrong with putting your best interests first. That's what you're supposed to do. So in your main character era, everything you do has to benefit you. You can't do things because this person asks you to, or this person wants you to, or you feel guilty about not doing it. Main characters do not behave this way. They only do what's beneficial for them. And you know what's funny? People respect them 100 times more. Why? Because as I mentioned earlier, they're upfront about it. People feel like they can trust them more because they're honest about their interests. There's nothing worse than a person that does something out of weakness or guilt while secretly resenting that they're doing it. Do not be afraid to walk away when your standards are not being met. Now that you're the main character, people need to get the memo. What was okay yesterday is not okay today. The price has gone up, and you need to embrace that. So if people are still trying to get you with yesterday's price, then the best and only thing that you should do is walk away. You don't need to stand there haggling with them, telling them that the price has changed. They should know that. And you know what? They do know that. But they don't want to have to deal with you at this new price point. No problem. They will not make it to the next episode. To become the main character, you need to own the spotlight. I'm going to tell you something that you probably already know but haven't considered. The main character gets a lot of attention. And I mean a lot of attention. So if you used to live life in the shadows, it's going to be jarring when you step into the spotlight. I don't want to sugarcoat this, so I'm just going to tell you like it is. Think about your favorite main character. Aren't your eyes glued to the television whenever they're on? Exactly. Because they're the main character, who else would you be looking at? That's exactly what's going to happen in your life. And that's why I say you may have known this, but you haven't considered it. It's really hard to conceptualize and wrap your head around this unless you've experienced it firsthand. Because it's like while you expect your friends and family to treat you differently, strangers begin to treat you differently as well. If I'm being completely honest, that's what threw me off. When I became the main character, I expected my social life to change, but I did not expect outside of that to change. Or better yet, I did never think of it. So in essence, everyone will know that you're the main character. Everyone will know that you're that girl. So embrace it, because honestly, that's the only thing that you can do. As I mentioned earlier, you cannot teeter-totter. You cannot be a main character today and then an extra tomorrow and then a main character. That does not work. You have to embrace being in the spotlight and all that it comes with, and you have to do it big. This is no longer the time to play it timid or play it small. You're a main character, so people expect you to perform and behave like a main character. And it's not necessarily even about their expectations, it's more so about you. You know what a main character does and does not do, so act accordingly. I'm not talking about being overly flashy or wearing the latest this or that, but if that's what you're into, go for it. What I'm actually speaking about when I say do it big is not denying yourself or playing small just to fit in, just to try to escape judgment or not be criticized by others. You have to let go of that entirely. The main character does not care. And it's a process. It'll take a while for it to feel natural, but it is possible. I would strongly encourage you to align yourself with other main characters. There are other main characters? Of course there are. Being the main character doesn't mean that you're the only main character in the world and that everyone else is your extra. That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that being the main character is an approach to life. It's a way of seeing yourself. So you want to align yourself with people that see themselves the same way. Why? Because they're going to get you. They're going to understand where you're coming from. There's nothing worse than talking to someone that doesn't get it. You can talk until you're blue in the face and they still won't get it. So it's better to save your time and energy and just find who aligns with you. So find another main character or a few other main characters and do main character things with them. Honestly, that's my favorite thing to do. And finally, you need to stick to the script. Remember that story you wrote? Yeah, you wrote it for a reason. You wrote it because this is your new story, this is your new life, and you're committed to living it. So do not forget who you are. This is why we keep this story in a safe place, and this is why we refer to it often. Because there will be times where we need a reminder. There is nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, there are people that don't like main characters. They don't like seeing people in their main character energy. And sometimes they'll do or say things to try to get in your head. They try to get you to doubt yourself and question who you are. But they don't know that you have a whole script and that you're sticking to it. They are an extra. You wrote them in the background somewhere, and they're playing their role. So you continue to play yours. See them for the distraction that they are and ignore them. In all of the shows that I've ever watched, and like ever, a main character and an extra never cross paths. That tells you something about life, and that tells you something about main characters. So ignore these people when they try to distract you, and I'm telling you, they will try. But it doesn't matter because you know who you are. So be consistent with who you are. Show up every day as the main character and give the world main character energy. Those that get it, and they'll be drawn to you. And those that don't get it, well, they'll fade to the back. I hope you got something from this video today. Being the main character is a powerful way to live, so I hope that you're inspired to embody this persona in your own life. I'd love to hear from you. Which tip was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you. Be sure to subscribe. We'd love to have you become a part of the family. While watching this video is a great start, there's so much more to becoming your higher self than just being the main character. So watch this video to continue your journey. Okay, my loves, until next time, take good care of yourselves. Bye.